joining.
Here we go. Well, they're still popping in there. La'Quata, I'm going to go ahead and kick it off, and then I will continue to let people in so that we do not hold up the rest of our group. In terms of announcements, please head over to womenandrones.com. We have our new career page back up. Check out the jobs that are occurring in the industry. I will post a link in there shortly. But with that, without further ado, everyone is jumping in here to hear and see Dr. La'Quata today. We have Ian joining us from Ireland. Wow.
Ireland in the house.
Yeah.
Hey, Ian. Hey, Ian.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
How you doing?
Long time no talk to.
Long time no speak, Sharon.
Yes, exactly. Well, again, good morning, everyone. I'd like to introduce Dr. La'Quata Sumter. She is going to take us through everything that we need to know about using drones from a STEM education standpoint and what she is doing in the classroom and help us better facilitate any sessions that we might want to run. So with that, Dr. La'Quata Sumter, please take the floor.
All right, I'm going to get this screen share here. Looks like I got it. All right. Sure. There we go. Good morning. I hope that you all are doing well this morning. And I thank you so much for the opportunity to be here this morning. I definitely thank Desi and Ms. Sharon and Women in Drones for this opportunity. And I'm not going to keep you all long today, but just give you some tips and tricks of what we've learned over the last 5 years. I told Ms. Sharon I was looking for some pictures on last evening, and I learned that I have been doing this now for 5 years. And so a lot of what you are going to hear today is going to be on what we've done in the last 5 years and what we found to be a good solution. So today I'm going to talk about the opportunities of integrating drones into the classroom and why it's so important to integrate into the classrooms now. And we asked the question, that's the question that we ask. So drones provide a fun, hands-on approach to learning, which cultivates a real good passion for innovation to our students. They can inspire the growth mindset, help students gain the confidence to explore new ideas. And additionally, the drone industry has really grown quickly. There's a significant need for skilled professionals. So by introducing drone education and early, we can bridge the gap and also ensure that we have the future workforce to prepare for the demand. And we talk about connecting drones to the current STEM. So drones can, as we said, drones is a powerful tool, and we can connect it in computer science, engineering, and even IT concepts. But that's not just all what we can add drones to. How about integrating drones into the current curriculum? Because we found that a lot of teachers say that we don't have time to build new curriculum. We don't have time to actually match standards. We don't have time to figure out what curriculum matches what match our standards. So we say, how about integrating drones into the subjects that's already being taught, such as physics, geometry, algebra, and all of these different and even art, environmental science, and in these particular curriculum that's already being taught, we can look at adding the flight principles of drones, navigation, and data collection as well. And what makes drones so unique is that we can put it in all these different categories and all these different curriculums and use it in what we call the cross curricula as well. But now, I tell you that we're teaching children and we're teaching teachers to teach the children, and we're putting all of the experience that we've had together for the last 5 years, we're putting that all together to give our teachers something that they need to teach our children. Now, and in order to teach our children, we always got to keep this thing fun. So guess what? It's game time. So this is something that we do with our students. And so we're going to have you all play what we call Drone Quest Rapid Fire. And in round number 1 of Drone Quest Rapid Fire, this is how this is going to go. I'm going to give you questions, and it's in the round number 1. I'm just going to give you 2 questions, and you're going to answer those questions in the chat as quickly as possible. Now, how you are going to win in round number 1 is you must answer those questions as quickly as possible. So you got to get your hand typing together, or you got to speak into the chat real fast, and then be able to answer the questions. All right, are you ready for question number 1? Are we ready? Question number 1, here we go. And question number 1 is, what does UAV stand for? Let's drop it in the chat real fast. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, we got D. All right, we sure? Come on now, come on. Let's see what we got. What we got. All right, we got E and Kelly with unmanned aerial vehicles. All right, we got C. And time's up. Next question.
Here, hang on, La'Quata, slow down. All of those answers are wrong.
All of those answers are wrong?
Yes, the answer is unmanned aerial vehicle.
Uncrewed aerial vehicle is our answer.
Oh, I don't know, because uncrewed and unmanned are different.
Gotcha. So our C's won. And let's go to question number 2. Number 2 says, what is the main function of propellers on a drone? What we got? Question number 2, what is the main function of propellers on a drone? All right. We got B. Look like we got all B's there. So we got to provide lift and thrust. And that is the answer. So here, what we're going to do is I'm going to find out who got number 1 right and number 2 right before anybody else. And we're going to drop you a prize in the mail. And we see our member already got our Focusing on Me mug. We have our new Steam Through Drones mug that's coming out, and we're going to drop that in the mail to you. So we'll get your email address and your address. Now, this is the fun part. This is another fun part. Round number 2. For round number 2, we're going to give you a drone scenario. And for this drone scenario, I need you to get your typing hands real fast, because you're going to answer this question to the best of your ability of how fast you can answer this question, and that's going to be our winner. You ready? Are y'all ready? Question number 2 and scenario for round number 2, we said you are flying a drone to capture aerial footage for a school project. Suddenly, the battery stops draining rapidly, and you're far from the landing zone. What do you do? What do we do? Land? How about if you're over a building? Sam, how about if you can't return home? Battery's going away. Land at a second location? That might sound good. 12 seconds on the clock. 11 seconds on the clock. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom, boom. All right, let's see what we got over here. Shut down system and go back to the base if possible. All right, if the drone is landing, if the drone has drained its battery, we may not can land in our landing zone. So we have to find a second landing zone. All right, and I'll go through the chat after this and find out who our winner is. And for our winner for this one, guess what? You get one of our nice little Build-A-Drone called the Light Be Sky. So we'll find out who that is in the chat with the best answer, and we'll send you our Light Be Sky. All right, so you get to see what we do with our students and our drone curriculums. We've been using coding with Codrone, teaching Blockly, Python for our programming language. And you said, what is the benefit? So our benefit, Blockly provides an easy entry point for beginners in programming. Then there's Python, where Python allows us to get our students to understand one of the basic programming languages. These students get to do more advanced coding projects with Pythons. We give them real world programming samples with using Python. And so that's using CoDrone. Another selection is Drone Legends. Now we have Drone Legends. This program features 10 drone themed system STEM missions designed to teach students teamwork, problem solving, innovation. What it's really known for is its turnkey solution to make it easy for educators to start. So they get this kit, they get everything they need for their students to start this program. Now, all of these programs have been successful with CoDrone and Drone Legends. I've vetted these programs. I know them to be successful for educators and students. But what I have observed from using these programs is some schools are still not able to purchase these programs. Why? Because of funding. So after speaking with some of my partners in the drone education community, as well as the founders of these curriculums, we found that it would be beneficial if I was to actually get a program or develop a program where teachers could start teaching drones for a lower cost of something that they could afford, and be an introduction program to get educators started. And with getting them started, it also fits my vision of the education to workforce framework that I adopted from Melinda Gates, that for our STEAM industry. So this is the moment that you all have been waiting for, and this is why you are here today. And why are you here today? Because you are here for Drone Quest. Drone Quest is the beginning to drone education. What it is it's the understanding of how drones work, their components, and the basic flights. Through building and operating drones, students not only learn valuable technical skills, but they also gain a sense of responsibility and innovation with Drone Quest. So you may ask now, what's included in Drone Quest? Well, let's talk a little bit about that. Our very first program in Drone Quest is our very first unit. The very first unit is called Aerocraft. Aerocraft introduces students to drone building, operation, and instills a sense of responsibility and innovation in our young students' minds. So students get to build a drone, learn valuable technology, engineering, and problem-solving skills while understanding what a drone is and how it works. But that's not all. Aerocraft is the start. From Aerocraft, there's Block Pilot. Block Pilot is a drone programming using block coding. So here, students are able to program the drone using block coding, and then they can also advance to what we call the Python wings, where they're able to program in Python, offering them more hands-on experience. So Python is a very versatile language that allows students to manipulate the drone, solve real-world problems, and even automate tasks. So they can actually see how the program works in programming a robot or programming a drone. Then that's not all. We have developed what we call STEAM labs. My partner, Mr. Michael Johnson, we once figured out that when we were teaching our students for the Part 107, the problem with teaching the students 107 right out the gate, what would happen is with teaching them right out the gate, we would see that students would not understand or comprehend the Part 107 navigation or airspace. So what Mr. Mike Johnson has done is he's developed STEAM Labs, which is a hands-on course that connects math and science to real world by teaching the students the navigation principles and airspace rules by them actually building out the airspace model for them to see how the airspace principles work, as well as navigation principles. So what this course is it's the pre-course to the Part 107. Now, I told you that teachers were not only looking for curriculum that they can take out of the box and use, but they were also looking for professional development so that they can know how drones actually work. So in order for us to know how drones work, and our teachers have no experience on drones, they don't know what to do, we created the educators mini course. So with Drone Quest, we have developed this educators mini course that has sample lesson plans, as well as it teaches our students what a drone is, how drones work, and how they can integrate them into their classroom. And guess what? Because I love all of you all here today, right? I love all of you. I love y'all. I love y'all for joining me today. I really do. I really do. Much love, much love. Since I love all of you all, guess what? You get 1 year free access to the Educators Mini Drone course so that you can see what we're giving to teachers. And if you are a teacher, you can actually implement drones into your classroom, because we want to teach, we want to touch and teach as many students as we possibly can. One of our mottos is one drone at a time, reaching students one drone at a time. So what are we addressing here? These are the challenges that we're addressing. We're addressing the challenge to actually close the gap and give our students of underserved and underrepresented communities an opportunity to see career opportunities that are available to them. The Drone Quest curriculum is an intro to drone legends, an intro to AOPA, an intro to Co-Drone, an intro to PCS Adventures. This curriculum is actually a package where we can get our students to understanding and knowing the drone opportunities, and getting our teachers to teach it in the classroom. So our education to workforce pathway framework looks like this. If we were to take our programs and all the programs that we vetted, this is how we get our students from understanding drone technology through STEM curriculum to the actual workforce, be it if they want to be a photographer, a videographer, an air traffic control pilot, an inspector, an electrical power line installer, urban planner, power plant operators, whatever they would like to do in this field. We can start with Little Legends in elementary school, Aerocraft for 6th and 7th grade, or Drone Legends, whichever the budget fits, Block Pilot or Co-Drone, whichever the budget fits, for 7th, 8th, and 9th graders as well. But then STEAM Labs is for our 9th and 10th graders to get them prepared for the Part 107. And then we can advance them into the Part 107 test prep course, where they can learn how to get their Part 107 and then become certified pilots. So in conclusion, introducing our students to drones early transforms their future by opening doors to STEM careers. And we're not just talking about the drone industry. We're talking about multiple careers that they may not have, they may not know nothing about. For example, for me, when I was in middle school, I knew nothing about a computer. I didn't know what the computer was supposed to do. But being introduced to a computer is what got me to continue into the technology field, becoming a computer scientist, as well as becoming an engineer. So I would like to give the same opportunity to students that come from communities that come from communities similar to where I came from. Give them the opportunity to learn and understand that there are more opportunities besides being a doctor and a lawyer. There's some more opportunities out there. And they can actually join the STEM field and be successful and They can give back to their community just as I'm trying to do myself. So our goal, or my goal, is to make learning fun. And what me and some of my partners call this thing is we call it edutainment. And what does that mean? It's education with entertainment. So we provide our students with a clear pathway to various career opportunities. And so throughout this slide, you've seen pictures of our programs being implemented in schools, being implemented in summer camps, and also being implemented in after-school programs. And guess what? This is what happens to the students when they're done with our program. They're knocked out. They're out. We make the babies tired. That's what we do. All right. I thank you for your time. I thank you for your attention. Please make sure you scan our QR code. I'm going to drop this link in the chat as well while I answer questions if you all may have any. And this is going to give you access to our newsletter, as well as give me your information so that I can send you access to the educator's mini drone course as well. Any questions? I'm looking at the chat, and I think Miss Sharon is out there as well.
Yes, I'm looking at the chat. I don't see a particular question, but I believe someone talked about, Charlotte Goldsberry mentioned about access to resources for funding. So Charlotte, if you want to open up your mic to tell us about the information that you've dropped in the chat here, that would be great.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I have my own company, Charlotte Goldsberry here. My company's Emerald Strategy, but I've been working in the drone and aviation industry for quite a while and working with Promo Jones, so Jamar Williams, who many of you probably know. But we have been so wildly successful recently with funding efforts. And a lot of them are what we're working on right now is High Tech High, which is a charter school. But I have to look it up. So I will follow up with you guys. But there was a link that I found, and I won't have time to put it in the chat today. But Sharon and Desi and everybody, I will make sure, because there is so much money going to STEAM and STEM, and I've been involved in nonprofits for a long time. And to your point, Doc, sorry, I don't know you. Sorry to be so familiar. The Introduction to Computers and Careers, which doesn't mean you code. It means this is what you do in your everyday life. So I love this theme. But I found one recently. It's hidden in a Google Doc, and I will follow up and send it. Who should I send that to, actually? Because I can't do it in the chat right now. I've got something going on.
You can send it to me. I'll drop my information, and then I'll get it over to Dr.
Awesome. Awesome. This is so wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yes, not a problem. Anyone else have a question? Feel free to open up and let's talk with Dr. La'Quata Sumter today. Questions?
No questions, but if I could just say we definitely appreciate all of the work and the sharing and the collaboration. It helps because I feel like, education does have some unique challenges when it comes to funding, but then also the learning curve for educators. Obviously, teachers have the passion and the desire to include drones, but they don't know where to start. So thank you, La'Quata, as always, for being a wealth of knowledge and information.
Thank you, Tony, for always giving me what the teachers are looking for and what you all as educators are looking for. It definitely helped me draft what we need to provide for our teachers to get started. Not just teachers, but any educators, whether it be Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, fraternities, sorority, mentee groups, all of them as well. They are looking, where do we get started? And even with one of the programs that we do during the summer is the Young Marines. So I've had young Marine organizations from all over ask, well, how do we get started? What do we do? So building the smaller packets where they only may have 12 students and they don't have much funding. These packages can get to these groups and organizations that they can start, and they can understand what a drone is, how it's used, and they would definitely be able to understand the careers as well. So I thank you all for the opportunity.
Well, and if I just add to that? I go back 45 years in technology. So I taught people how to use these things called personal computers back in 1978. And I was working with Vietnam vets coming back from the war that were head trauma victims. So it really that's my passion. So it's like, how can you demystify this and make it easy to digest in small little bites? And it's like AI and machine learning and all the things that we've been trying to it's not that crazy. It's really, really simple. If you can play a video game, you can fly a drone. So everywhere I go, whether it's Didi's Discounts, the Dollar Tree, or whatever, it's like, what's your passion? What do you want to do? Think about this. And I think that just evangelizing how impactful this industry is for anyone. It's an elderly person, a disabled person, a kid, an adult, whatever. It's fascinating. And I think we have the opportunity to make huge changes with just a little kid at a time, or a little old person at a time.
One drum at a time. One drum at a time. Sam,
So, Dr. La'Quata, we have a comment and a question from Dr. Renee Welch. She says, thanks for your passionate presentation. How do we get this amazing curriculum embedded into state curriculum? And is this aligned with professional standards for teachers?
it is aligned with professional standards for teachers. And we also have it mapped to ISTE, NGSS, and as well as Common Core. It should be no problem to map it to any state standard, but we need to know what state standards, such as science, technology. I know with my friend, Mr. Mike Johnson, our partner, Mike Johnson, he has mapped with the Philadelphia transportation standard for their Part 107 course. So it all depends on the course or the actual core curricula that we want to put it in, and we'll map it to that standard. Can easily be done.
Awesome. Are there other questions for Dr. Sumter?
I do have another question, sounding for La'Quata. I noticed that with the light bees, and I know it's been a while since we talked about this, I had heard some feedback or seen some online that some of the schools, because of their firewalls, were having trouble using the programming, like the program that for the programming aspect of the light bees. Have you had any problems with that at all?
I haven't had that problem, but then I would suggest using the code drones if you run into that problem. The code drone would definitely be a solution to handle that problem.
Okay.
One thing about the code drones is that they are web browser based and not application based. So a lot of the programming of drones are application based, but what CodeDrone, RoboLink is the CodeDrone owner. RoboLink did is they build it web based, so that you can actually use the Google browser to code the drone versus having an application downloaded to the computer. And that's a lot of problems with schools as well, downloading the application to computers or devices. And one thing I like about the Lightbee, if we don't get into programming, you still have the controller that comes with the Lightbee. It has a controller and it has a camera as well. So that's one of the things that sparked me with the Lightbee to use that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Sam has her hand up, Miss Sharon.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi, Sam.
For my question is, I'll give you a use case. I've been training after school here with the Los Angeles School District youth, anywhere from age 6 to 14, give or take. And I am thrown out with the rest of the after school programs, kick soccer, you name it, painting. And what I am trying to convince them that we need a separate space. So my question to you, with your program, it would require a separate space where they're in the classroom, hands-on computers, and then would the hands-on be outside? Or I'm just trying to visualize how would I approach my teams about using the curricular, or how can I best represent you to improve what I'm doing now?
If you wanted to start with the aerocraft is a building the drone and understanding what a drone is, how it works in the components, and also career opportunities. There's no programming to that one, and the drone has a controller, so you don't necessarily need computers on that curriculum. The curricula that needs a computer would be your programming, so your Blockly and your Python. That's when you would need devices to be able to program program your drones. And your space depends on the amount of students that you have. You can do inside or outside. If you do outside, we prefer or recommend that you use a drone cage with the little drones, because they tend to drift sometimes if you're in high wind. We have known that the light bee is not like the tello, where the tello would overheat in the sun. That was one of the problems that we typically had outside with the tellos, is that they overheat. The light bee and the cold drones, they don't overheat outside, so they're good outside drones as well with drone cages.
And a typical program, does it go 4 to 6 weeks or is it under?
With my program, the Quest program, all of the programs we develop in 4 modules. And the modules are typically 45 to 60 minutes. And why we did it that way is to be in one classroom session, that they can get it done in the classroom session. And if they're on A/B schedule, they can typically get it done in 9 weeks.
And lastly, is this the type of program you want to include during the school hours, or would it be okay after school hours within an after school program?
It could be both. You can do it both. And you can, if you do in school or after school with all 3 programs, if you go through or you pick a a la carte and just do one of the programs versus the other, they can actually help students for competition. There's 2 competitions that I recommend, which would be the Rec Foundation competition as well as RDL competition.
I'm so proud of you for taking this step, and I'm so glad to know all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you for your support always.
Do we have other questions from the audience or comments? I have a few comments here, Dr. Sumter, that people are really excited about what you're offering. Sounds like Jill has started a program with her Civil Air Patrol. That's great.
Awesome.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm going through. Did I answer anyone's questions?
I agree, Jill. The Rec Foundation is great, but it is above some people's pocket. So that's the purpose of Drone Quest, to start. It gives our students a start, so they can get started. And then I call it a proof of concept. So what we do is we're able to get you started or get educators started, and then they can take that proof of concepts and say, hey, it's working, the students enjoy it, and we need more funding to make this happen.
Yeah, actually, my plan is to, I've been putting together a program with the kids from Civil Air Patrol now, but eventually what I want to do is turn it over to a New Hampshire state program called Learn Everywhere. They'll take middle and high school kids. Say the kids go to judo, to dance lessons, to foreign language school, stuff that they do on the outside, they don't get any credit for it. But with the Learn Everywhere program, they do get credit. They get graduation credit for high school from 9th to 12th grade. They'll get they've asked me, it's kind of funny because the gal that is in charge of the aviation division of New Hampshire DOT, she's a commercial pilot. And I went there for a totally different reason, and we got to talking, and the next thing you know, I'm in the middle of this. So that's how things happen. So I know it works. I know the concept works. What you're doing is exactly the way it works, because, you know, in the city of New Bedford, Massachusetts, I was a police officer there for 42 years. And we did these things called Cops and Kids. And for 8 weeks, 7 weeks, we'd take the kids out to different places that involve the world of water. Whether it's ship captains, fishing boat captains, Woods Hole Oceanographic, anything that involved the world of water. And the kind of like the carrot on the stick was, they would do the 7 weeks of going to these different places. And the 8th week, we'd take them into a pool and we'd spend several hours teaching them how to scuba dive. And they would run all over that pool. I mean, I'm talking kids that don't even know how to swim, stick a regulator in their mouth, and they were all over the place. So it was like the coolest thing going. So I know it works.
Yes, definitely. And I've had, as like I said, I've had the input from numerous individuals in the drone industry, from Tony, Sam, Dave, from Inferential Drones, Miss Sharon. All of them have given me their input, and they have given me the encouragement to continue in this industry, because I checked out a couple of times in my head, but they did not let me check out. So this is my warm and fuzzy, being able to give back to our communities and be able to get them to start in the industry, something that they may not see on a regular basis. And the women in drones model, what is it, Miss Sharon? If they can see her, they can be her. Yeah. So it keeps me motivated as well to be that light that those girls can see, so that they can see that they have the opportunity as well.
Going back to the chat, I see that Doreen had asked a question about the size, but she didn't reference which particular drone you were showing at the time. So Doreen, if you could open up and ask us which question or which drone were you referring to? She wanted to know which size was that drone. She said, looks like it would fit into the classroom.
Oh, the PVC build. Oh, the PVC build is, let's go back. That's the STEAM labs. So what we've done is we built that out to it could be a 10 by 10, but then Mr. Mike just came out with the desktop model. So you can have 2 students working on a desktop model as well, where it actually fits on the desk. So you got the 10 by 10, and then you have the desk model. I was telling him, I was like, so if they don't have the space to build this thing, where are we going to put it? And how are we going to do that? So he came down with the smaller model.
Right. Okay, that's great. And in terms of the prizes, you have 2 prizes you were going to give away, correct? In addition to the free giveaway for all attendees.
Yes.
Yeah, so while you're going back to the chat to find the winners, regarding the availability of the curriculum for 1 year, they need to scan the QR code you had up there, and then you will send them the information.
Let me go ahead and drop that link as well.
Okay.
For those that did not get the QR code.
Okay. If you did not get the QR code, just follow the link that she's putting in the chat. And she is given to everyone attending today. Using that link, she will provide you with the access to 1 year of
free access
to her curriculum, which is very nice of you. Thank you so much for making that available to our audiences.
See, so that's Tony.
Did Tony win something? What did Tony win?
I think it was Tony.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was
Winner, chicken dinner.
Tony is round number 1.
Okay.
And then,
while you're looking that up, Ian, I put in the chat, I don't know if you saw it, here in the United States, it was about 1.5 years ago, we changed it to uncrewed from unmanned, if that's what you were thinking of.
You're trying to behave myself, but just because one country decides they're going to call it something different doesn't mean the entire world has gone, oh, well, let's all follow suit. So in theory, the question was what does UAV stand for? And in theory, I was right. And in theory, if I received a mug, I would be delighted.
No, just for you, because you have taken care of us very well. I'm going to send you a mug. I got your address. I'm going to send you one.
I love it.
Thank
We're not worthy.
Thank you. I did not need Women in Drones to start an international incident here. So
I got it.
I'm getting onto the Oxford English Dictionary right now.
Shelly Baxter is number 2 for round number 2.
All right. Well, congratulations, ladies. Thank you. So as we are coming up on our time here, are there any further questions or comments you have for Dr. Sumter? Please open up or drop them in the chat. We really appreciate Dr. Sumter joining us today with this invaluable information. I think you have taken and shared with everyone how the drone curriculum is finally reaching new heights, pun intended.
Yes.
I think there's been so many of us around the industry that have literally been patchmaking and putting together curriculum because there's been no formal, steady, readily available curriculum for students that we could introduce, but more importantly for teachers from a professional development standpoint. That's the piece I think is most important because that's how we can multiply and scale. And as you know, Dr. Sumter, I'm very much into scaling. So
Scaling.
got to be able to scale your operations. That's correct. Okay, do you have the information to contact our two winners? I know we have Tani's information. Do you have
Shelly,
Shelley?
if you could send me, and I'll drop my email as well. So make sure you get it over to us. Even
Or you could just send Shelly's prize to me as well. I'll hold on to it, or I'll keep it nice and safe.
Oh, yeah, we know that.
I'm sure she won't mind.
Shelly says lies. Lies. So that sounds like lies and propaganda.
Shelly's like, no, you send me my prize.
I will definitely send it to you. I will definitely send it to you, Shelly. I sent you my San Diego is in the house. I like San Diego. I actually had fun in San Diego.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, if there's no further questions, we will thank you once again, Dr. Sumter, for your time, and appreciate everyone joining us today. And with that, if there's no other questions, we like to say we'll see you next week. Desi should be back next week, and hopefully the session will run much smaller with her back in charge. So,
Thank you all for your attendance. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day,
It was
everybody.
great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That kind of wraps it up.